So I've just come in the garden and I noticed in the Akee tree, this is the Akee tree here, that there are some out of season Akees on the tree. And one of them is open. And while I was picking this fella with the long picker, I noticed there was another one higher up in the tree, which I can't reach with a picker, so I'm going to have to climb the tree and get him down. So I'm going to do that now. Got him. And I absolutely covered these green ones, which are biting me all over. So I got him, but I'm covered in green ones, and I'm getting bitten all over. It's in there. I don't think it's on me. These are the green ants. I don't know if you can see them. They're biting me all over my hand. I've got them all over my legs. Fortunately, they don't have a venom that I'm aware of, but they have a little nip, so it's really like a pinch, so there's no after effect. Once you've removed them, because they're like they're hanging on tight, look, I try and get him off gently, but he's holding on. Once you remove them from your body, there's not really any pain, so they're not that bad. They just bite, nip you. Let me just get them off my legs. So, 2 Akees.
Oh, look at this. What is it? Wow. Some of you know it already because I used to put photos on Facebook page. But thank you, Mango, bringing this beautiful fruit from the garden. So this is fruit from our garden, our tree. We have few of them. How many?
We've got 2 that are fruiting, maybe 3, and then we've got another 3 as well that haven't given us any fruit yet.
Oh, take what's in.
Yeah.
So we here. So now we have sees, and when we say hello.
Well,
Now, hello everybody. Look what we've got for you today.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do.
I'm hungry.
So they hang this way on a long stalks or stems from the tree. This is just 2 old ones.
Yeah, well there's a few on there that are unopened, but not many, like maybe only 5 or 6. One of them was quite high up the tree. The other one I got with the picker, so one of them I climbed up the tree to get. And the other one is I got with the long picker. Yeah. So
I love
open it
this fruit.
And, yeah,
Yeah, it looks beautiful. It's just like out of this world.
it tastes like cheese. I think there's a round box you can get, or we used to be able to get when I was a kid, and it's got these triangular shaped cheeses inside it, and it's got a picture of a cow laughing, which of course is rather silly, but the taste of this fruit is rather like that cheese in that box.
Yeah, it's more. It's also again because it is fruit, and it's always different. You know, sometimes it's more creamy, sometimes it's more sweet, and so on. So I just open it like this.
And this fruit, what's special about this fruit is that when they're not ripe, they're fully closed up. They're closed. I can't reclose it, but they're really closed. And if you pry them open before they're ready, the fruit is so toxic that it can kill you if you see enough to eat it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And if they get too ripe, and you eat them when they're overripe, you can get a bad tummy when you eat. It won't kill you, but it won't be good for your tummy.
Okay. I love them when they overripe, and I eat them that way. I never get sick from it, but you can...
Yeah, I don't think
some people
she eats them quite at that stage where they're like so overripe they're going to make you sick.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I think you
I
can
eat
live
them
even longer.
Yeah,
You could live in longer. Yeah.
So anyway, this is like seed and 2 segments of fruit in each of those 3. We should say this is a popular fruit in Jamaica.
It's the national fruit of Jamaica. It's called an Akee once more, for those of you who didn't get it. It's called an Akee. It's spelled A-K-E-E. Yeah. And there's always, well, actually, sometimes you can be lucky enough to get one that's got 4, like a 4-leaf clover. But generally speaking, there's 3 segments in each fruit. So the other one would go in there. So, and obviously this is just the skin, we don't eat that.
So I continue, that's a good mulch.
Yeah.
Continue with this, so this is twisted off from the seed, those 2 edible parts.
Yeah.
So I have seed and 2 edible parts now.
Yeah, yeah.
And then inside here, inside the edible part.
Lift your hands up a bit more.
No, yeah, It's, see that pink stuff, sometimes it's brown, a bit too. So it's just have to be removed. That's very bitter, that's not...
No, no.
You don't want to eat that, that's yuck, food.
Yeah.
And make sure it's all clear, this part from those bits. Sometimes there are a few pieces stuck on it, so I take it by the knife. This is my work usually. Mango goes
I pick them and Peter prepares them
for eating. Yes.
Yeah, so I've taken that little seed off of that one.
Yeah, like you can see the difference in the size.
Yeah, that one's not viable, that seed.
And this seed is even smaller.
You have to lift it up, you can't see that one.
This one have even smaller seed.
Yeah.
And you can see how the size is. It's pretty very.
Yeah.
Those are not the best, not the biggest,
No.
but they always yummy.
So,
I love how they like
Yeah.
this stuff. It looks so Asian to me.
Jamie Kosek.
Mhm. Okay.
I'll let her divide it all up.
You have
Okay,
this one.
okay.
No, you have this one. Let's be done.
No, it doesn't matter. So yeah, we've got a little piece here to try each. It's a little bit rubbery. It's not as soft as we'd like, but
Sometimes they
Yeah.
go cream. also.
but yeah, this is it. And they're a fruit that we savour. So even though it's just a tiny little thing, and you might stick it in your mouth and swallow it, it's something that
It's yummy.
you can almost suck on it like a lolly and feel it melting in your mouth.
Mm. We love this fruit. We could eat a bit of it
Yeah.
if you get a bit of it at once.
We've never had too many on the trees
Mm-mm.
that we weren't able to eat them all, put it that way. Once we get lots of it, we really we can just sit back and eat these things and really enjoy ourselves.
It's a very special life too.
Mm.
And I mean actually
That one's still got stuff in it.
and I just like to say that it doesn't work. I just like to say that unfortunately fruit which after harvest doesn't stay long time fresh is very difficult to buy. And things which are so popular, they are in the shops like strawberries, like all berries in general. They're very expensive. So you can buy them fresh, but they're very expensive. So unfortunately, because everything is orientated around business, you know, we can't. I'm really surprised not many people growing it in our area.
Yeah, it grows very easily in this area.
Yeah, and
But it's not a fruit. It's not a fruit that transports. You'll be very, very lucky. The only way that you would really find Akee in a shop is in a can. I think maybe in a West Indian store or something.
yeah, or Jamaica.
Well, that is in the West Indies.
Ah, sorry,
Anyway.
I'm not the best in that knowledge. Anyway, sometimes when I see beautiful fruit, so unusual and everything, I even feel like I don't want to eat it, I just want to keep it, but it doesn't keep anyway because it's a living thing, it just goes through the process
Yeah, it's already going.
of circle of life, and then when it appears and then it disappears.
Yeah. Amy is gentle.
So say something then.
He's a gum nut baby.
Gum nut, bit more like nut. Little nutty, I
Yeah.
love to be a bit nutty.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll show you this fruit again when we get more on the trees. At the moment, these are like the first ones, and there's hardly a sign of anything there. So we don't know if we're going to get more. I'm sure we will do at some point, but when we get an abundance, we'll do another video and show you them a bit better, a bit more clearly.
Yeah, last year he had a most
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. See, one of the trees over there that fruits hasn't given us anything. There's no fruit on there at all. And this tree that's got some on has just got maybe, as I said, maybe half a dozen. That's it, at the most.
But then it's even more precious.
Yeah.
He always so appreciated.
Yeah.
anything we eat from our garden.
Yeah.
And even most of fruit is the best,
Yeah.
really best we ever tasted. But some of them not so tasty. Sometimes mulberry in the beginning they get a bit sour. But because this is funny, the psychology thing, our mind, how it works, because it's from our garden, when it's a bit sour, I accept it, I enjoy it, I eat it.
Mm.
If that was from somebody else's place, I would refuse to eat it. I will say, this is too sour.
Mm.
Or I will blend it with banana. Anyway, that's
Yeah.
a different story. I think this is taking a bit,
Yeah.
getting a bit
Now
longer.
we'll just say goodbye, and you have a nice day, and speak to you another time.
And you will hear from us about Akee in the future more than once, that's
Mm.
for sure. It's a part of our life,
Mm.
and we may show you, tell you some other things about it. And
Yeah.
as always, we're sending you lots of love, and we try to be the best people we can, and we hope you're doing the same thing, and you're taking care of your heart. Make sure you have a good heart. A lot of love, always.
Ciao.
Ciao.